How did he not fall? How is he not dead? Wait.
That was awesome.
Bye.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pikmin Punch-Out.
Yeah.
Right?
Featuring Lil Almar.
There's just so many of these roly-poly bugs that it's just... Ugh. This is probably the best way to get through this, which is like cheesing it. But
As far as, yeah, not for speed, but as far as like loss of Pikmin, definitely this is the best way to get through it.
Oh.
Just taking them out. Been taking them out for a little bit now. Taking them out one at a time as I can. It doesn't take too long with the upgraded punching gloves. It's well worth it versus losing all my freaking Pikmin or having to like coordinate and then inevitably lose 20 of them in one freaking roll. Like, yeah, I'm happy with these results. So if you saw us on the last episode, you would know that we're here in the Dream Den, and you would know that we were talking about controversial takes.
Yeah, controversial takes in the Dream Den. Just dreaming up
Den.
scenarios, talking about things.
Dreaming up things to piss off people. I know you have some more that you dreamed up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we got more.
Oh, yeah.
You ready?
I'm so ready. I was born ready.
Socks with sandals.
Wrong.
Wrong, just wrong.
Just wrong.
Absolutely wrong.
That particular one, I'm like, yeah, that's wrong. Like, I don't even, this is coming from a guy who doesn't wear sandals. I hate sandals. They don't fit my feet right. It rubs the freaking middle between my big toe and my, whatever the hell the second toe is called. It rubs it raw. It feels bad. I don't like sandals at all.
I only wear flip-flops.
Or flip-flops.
I don't wear like the full sandal.
That's what I meant.
Thing.
Was flip-flops, but I don't wear the. I don't even the Jesus sandals. I don't like those very much either.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some good ones out there, but
I
don't know.
That there are.
I only wear flip-flops.
Personally, though,
I don't only wear flip-flops. The only sandals I wear are flip-flops.
Yes.
And yeah, the whole reason why I wear those is for convenience. So why would I put socks on? The only time I've ever done that is when I need to step outside to take the trash out and I'm already wearing socks and the first thing available is my flip-flops. So, you know.
Makes sense. That's fair enough.
Do it for 0.5 minutes, or whatever.
That's fair enough, yeah.
Oh.
It's the winter, there's snow out, you need to cover your, so you don't freeze off your feet, I get that, that's fine.
Okay, well, it's spooky season.
It is.
So, the best topic of all to talk about is werewolves versus vampires.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
You got plenty of movies.
Yes.
We got plenty of books.
Yes.
A lot of cool stuff.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, which one is more scary? Which one's more dangerous?
I think the werewolf is probably more scary, or like the idea of obviously getting your blood sucked doesn't sound great, but at the same time when that happens to you, you're now immortal as well, right? Like you have a lot of drawbacks, but you're now immortal. The werewolf, though, a lot of times are just killing machines. Like they're just gonna kill to kill. You're not gonna get infected with whatever the werewolf disease is called, right? You're not gonna have like that as an issue. So that's my hot take. What is yours?
Well, first off,
without thinking about
I
it
really hate that you had to say werewolf because I'm like a diehard werewolf fan for some reason.
Okay.
And I was really hoping you were gonna say vampire so that we could have this discussion.
Oh,
but,
so I agree with you. So
yeah, exactly. So I'm like, dang it! Like, why'd you have to agree with me? But
I mean, werewolves suck. Vampires all the way. You know what I'm saying?
For the sake of the argument, though, because it is what it is. But for the sake of the argument, what about the fact that werewolves only change on a full moon? So they're not really immortal killing machines. They're only available once every month. They're not. Whereas a vampire, yeah, they can't go out in the daylight, but as long as there's no sunshine and they can go out at night, they get the chance to go out and wreak havoc every single night.
You're basically saying 365 versus basically 12.
Sure.
Or roughly.
Sort of, yeah.
12 nights. Yeah, I mean, by that definition, then yeah, definitely, werewolf would be more deadly than... Or, I'm sorry, a vampire would be more deadly than a werewolf.
Exactly.
By that definition. However, again, going back to the vampire thing,
Why are you just agreeing with me?
because for the sake of argument, because then going back to the werewolf thing, I mean, technically they are killing machines, and the vampires, you're dead, but you're alive at the same time. Speaking of dead and alive, we're just gonna be waiting here at this cave. So, anyways,
But I mean,
I would say, but the thing is like, okay, well, what kind of vampires? Like, am I under the vampire's control that sucked my blood forever? You know what I mean? Or do I have my own free will? Because that definitely changes things.
it's like what source material do you go off of, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, the one that gets me every time is kind of like the Underworld franchise, because that is very much Lycan versus vampire.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And so, like, with that, it's not exactly full moon. The Lycans are able to transform.
Okay.
You know, not exactly have full control, which I think is the other aspect. I mean, because I think that's the point, is that when you have, like, werewolf / Lycan, you're talking about something that is like an absolute killing machine. It's just, like, just heavy metal. You know?
Yeah.
Whereas, like, vampires,
metal, a particular metal kills them.
yeah, exactly. But silver's not a heavy metal, so it's fine.
Okay, fair enough.
Whereas vampires, it's like there's a finesse to it, you know. They're biting. There's things like that, you know. So, I think in that world, like, it makes sense. Like, Lycans would be the more powerful thing, but there is also the idea behind Lycan that, like, hey, they're not in full control. When they transform, they're not like intelligent beings. Meanwhile, vampires, they kind of get to. That's why there's finesse to it, is that they're in control the entire time.
Well, rest in peace, that red Pikmin that randomly flew off.
Oh my gosh, yeah, he just went straight over.
Way over.
It's fine.
Yeah,
What if you just find him on the next floor?
I agree with you on that one. I agree with you on all accounts there. I think that makes sense to me. Yeah. Freaking spooky season. But so werewolves were your favorite, like, Halloween type creature though, then, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I will say, like, for me, I feel like I've always kind of gone against the grain, so...
Because vampires were more popular back in the day than they are now.
Exactly, and it's like you start hearing vampire this, vampire that, and everything
and then
like that.
zombies took over everything, and it didn't, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, it was very much like a vampire werewolf type thing back when I was in high school and stuff. And
Twilight.
And Twilight, yeah, and a bunch of other stuff, and I was like,
Team Jacob.
Which, I mean, in the sense of Twilight, I was also, it was Team Jacob, right? He was the underdog, because she actually ended up with Edward, right?
I think so. I don't know. I can honestly say I've never seen the movies.
I'm like 90% sure. But either way, the werewolf dude. Like, I was like, yeah, totally team werewolf dude. And again, it's like going against, like, what everybody else was going against. But I don't know if everybody was going against that. It was just obviously in the books she did not go that way.
So how do you feel about the show Teen Wolf?
The movie?
The movie slash, I believe, TV show, if I remember correctly.
The Teen Wolf, where he's on the basketball team.
Yes.
It's like that old 80s movie.
Yes.
It's such a funny movie. I don't know if they did turn into the show. I haven't seen it yet.
I think it became a show, but it was, like, obviously not the same people.
Of course not. No, it's been too long.
Far too long.
But that was just like such a funny thing. He's like, what's happening to me? He opens the door and his dad's like, we need to talk. He's full werewolf convert. Like, oh man, what a great movie.
What a great movie.
It's just funny to see, like, something like werewolves taken into, like, a comedic sense of, like, yeah, they exist and they're not, like, wreaking havoc. They're just trying to live.
They just want to live their lives.
And it's just funnier with, it's like, hey, going through puberty is like a hard
It's hard
deal.
enough already.
Yeah. Then it's like you sprinkle on the fact that you're now a werewolf that comes out every full moon.
Yeah, that doesn't help, does it?
No, definitely not. No, you lost all your flowers.
Silly gooses.
My gosh, we're on sub level 5.
This one goes away.
This one's gonna be a little while.
Not good. Not good. Not good. That's
You got impatient.
I did. That's exactly what I was trying to avoid. Come here, Blue! No!
Oh my
Lord! Okay, we're good. I thought I took care of that one. How did he not fall? How is he not dead? Wait.
That was awesome.
Bye!
No, what's over here?
You get what you deserve. No! No! That is not who I wanted you to go after, you son of a biscuit. Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Come on, Purple. Come on, Purple. Wait, can we do the same thing? Oh, you're not going to pursue me that hard? Okay.
You're not gonna come after me?
I just want you to come after me. Yeah.
As in, I come first, and then
Like
you...
second.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh! Oh, I thought you were asleep already. Come here.
You're sending him right into the feed zone.
Come here! Away from the feed zone! Well, you didn't listen. Because you decided that instead of being away from the feed zone, you were going to attack the freaking fire thing instead. Away from the feed zone.
Oh my gosh.
Away from
This is a disaster!
No, it's not. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Now it is. Officially classified as a disaster. No! No, 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 no! Thank you.
Wow, that apple was bigger than him.
I don't know how it was inside of him, but so it was. Oh, man. Well, that just happened. Anyways, what's your next controversial take?
If you want to keep going.
We're moving.
Okay. Let's see. Corner brownie or like middle brownie?
Middle.
Middle brownie?
Middle brownie.
You don't want the edges?
No, I want the...
What is wrong with you?
I want the gooey... I want all middle gooey.
No, I want like the corner. I want that crusty bit.
You like the crusty bit?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, listen, am I eating a brownie? Alright, that's my answer. But, like, at the same time, I definitely will take the middle first, for sure. And I understand what you all are saying when you're like, oh, I really like that part of the brownie, though. I get it. Brownie's a brownie. But if I had to pick, I'm taking the gooey center.
Yeah, I would be the one to, like, invest in that pan that's, like, got the,
all
like, maze through it. So it's, like, all corners, because, like, for me, it's, like...
That's the good part.
Yeah, I think you just like that. I think I just like that crunch, that, like, crispy edge, you know?
That makes sense. That's what I'm saying. I understand why y'all like it.
What do you think about blondies?
Like... I mean, they're good. I don't think I have, like, a strong opinion on blondies.
Like blondies, like...
I mean, yeah, like, I like blondes and brunettes and redheads. Why do you ask?
Blondies for president, or like...
Yeah, I don't really...
Like the band Blondie, like...
Yeah, like I don't really
the comic strip Blondie, like, where do you...
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Comic strip Blondie, kind of outdated nowadays. Everything else, pretty solid.
I never thought comic strip Blondie was ever really that funny.
No.
I never got it. But at the same time, when I read the Sunday paper, I was but a young lad.
That's a young lad.
And Blondie felt like it wasn't for my audience. Like
it definitely wasn't.
They normally had some sort of like, oh, this strip is really some sort of plight of married life.
Yeah, for sure. Nope.
What you doing?
Trying to kill this guy. Why, you ask? Ow.
Sock him. Sock it to him.
I am. I'm giving it to him. I'm even a little 1-2, you know?
Sock 'em boppers. Sock 'em boppers. The thing that annoyed me most about Sock 'em Boppers is that they only sold you one of each. Like, they sold you two.
Yeah.
So it's like... It was like, oh, okay, but if you wanted to double fist it, you had to buy 2 packs of them.
Yes.
And it's like, they're just balloons.
No. They're sock and bombs. Hey, get over here. Yeah, boy.
Yeah, that was something I always wanted, but I knew that if I bought it, then my parents would be like, well, you have to give your sister one of them. And then she would be like hitting me with it.
No!
Like, no, I want both of them so I can dual wield these things.
That way I can be the exclusive.
Wail on my sibling.
I can be the exclusive bopper. There can only be,
I am the only one who bops.
There can only be one bopper, and it's me, damn it. Come on. Come on. Presidente, where are you? Come here. One more to kill. That's all I'm asking. And dead. Okay, here we go. Now I'm gonna go get my Pikmin. Yeah, you're gonna want to suck me up. I get it. I get it. I would want to suck me too. It's fine. Let's get him down. There we go. We're gonna make this floor much easier than it was built to be. And then we're gonna take out this guy really quickly.
Oh wow, that is a freaking cool
That is
treasure.
A crystal ball. Perfect for the spooky season.
Crystal ball. You more of a Marvel fan or a DC fan?
Marvel.
You see how it is? Somebody said the most interesting thing to me. They felt that Marvel was about humans trying to be superheroes, and DC was about superheroes trying to be human.
Let me think about that for a second. I think they're right, though.
It got to me because I was like, that's so true. When you talk about Iron Man, Captain America, Ant-Man, all those people, like they're humans and they're trying so hard, like they became superheroes and they're trying to be heroic, but they're human at their core.
Right.
Meanwhile, on the opposite side in DC, you have Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman. Like, and even Batman, who is a human, he is Superman. I mean, he's Batman first.
Right.
He's Bruce Wayne second. Feels like everybody's alter ego is second, and so they are superheroes that try to understand how to be human in their secondary form.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I never really thought about it that way before, but yeah, that's a really interesting take. But it's true. I think it's true. I think that is correct. I don't think that's controversial. I think that's just accurate. The reason I say Marvel is I just, like, that was kind of the era that I grew up in versus DC. I know, like, my dad was way into Superman and all that, and I just never really got into it.
Okay.
I never got into Superman. I never really got, like, Batman was super cool. I did get, like, I liked Batman a lot, but I was way more into, like, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Hulk, Wolverine, which is technically Marvel, like Marvel, I mean, but like
Marvel's Marvel. It doesn't matter which studio actually holds the rights because Sony Studios has Spider-Man. Meanwhile, Warner Brothers has the other DC or whatever no Warner Brothers has DC.
Yeah.
I forget who owns X-Men exactly. But definitely not the same people that own Iron Man and Captain America because they never really showed up.
Yeah. The mouse owns Iron Man.
Yeah, right.
So, interesting, actually. So, recently I found myself in Orlando, as you know.
Yes.
And, but nobody else does. So I found myself in Orlando with my wife, and we decided, hey, we were going to go do some Disney World stuff again, because that was where we spent our honeymoon. For those of you, I think I've said that before, but if I haven't, there you go. Now you know. Over 7 years ago now. And so we were like, oh, we really want to go back to, like, Disney World, and we want to go spend some time there, just, like, kind of be like, oh, like, back to, where it all kind of truly began for us, our married life. I don't like where this is going at all. And so, anyway, so we went back there. Super cool. I've got all the new Marvel stuff and everything, and just all the new stuff that they've got there. We hadn't been there in 7 years. Like, it was great. All that sort of thing. But then we were like, you know what? We haven't been to Universal Studios ever together, and I haven't been since I was a little kid. I was like, let's go to Universal Studios together. So we go to Universal. And the interesting thing, the reason why I bring this up and why it's relevant, is Universal still to this day has the rights to a lot of the Marvel stuff. They had a Marvel Land before Disney bought Marvel.
Really?
As the competitor to Disney, obviously. The main theme park competitor to Disney being Universal, or at least one of the main ones. And yeah, so they actually still own the rights to Marvel. Now, here's the interesting part, though. All of the characters' designs and the Hulk, including the Hulk ride, which is a massive roller coaster, Islands of Adventure, and the Spider-Man ride and everything like that, is all stuck in the early 2000s, late 90s era of the design and superhero because they cannot get...
They wouldn't be able to pull from...
Yeah, they can't get the new rights.
Disney's Marvel franchise, of course.
So they still have all these old rights from everything that they had in the past. So it's really interesting because the Hulk is like the original Hulk movie that came out in like whatever it was, 2004 or something like, you know, along those lines, whatever it was.
The Edward Norton one?
Yes. That one is like the design of the Hulk, and it's that storyline. And then you have Iron Man and Captain America, and it's all the, like, because their designs hadn't really changed, it's all the 90s designs of Marvel. So it very much feels like you're going into like some sort of time capsule of Marvel.
Before the absolute like takeover of
by
the
Disney.
new MCU, yeah.
Yep, before the new MCU. It's just all Wolverine, everybody has all their classic like 90s X-Men and all those other cartoon looks to them. So it really does feel like you're in some sort of weird time capsule walking through that. The Spider-Man ride, for example, it's totally Spider-Man, but it's Spider-Man from the 90s. It is not Spider-Man from today at all. Super bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, well, Sony was the one that do all the Spider-Mans.
Yeah.
But you're saying Universal still had some stake in it even before Tobey Maguire.
This is predating Tobey Maguire, if I'm correct.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
That's insane.
Yeah, so like in the ride queue, the TV is showing like 90s Peter Parker from the cartoon and 90s Jonah Jameson and like all that stuff. Like that is the theme. And then the costume is very much what ultimately ended up being whatever Tobey Maguire's costume, right? But it's really interesting. It was really bizarre. I can't say I enjoyed my time at Universal compared to Disney as much. Like I definitely would prefer Disney by far.
Yeah.
But I thought that was very cool. I thought that...
Did Universal have the Hogwarts?
Yeah, they had all the Hogwarts stuff. That was probably the coolest part, for sure.
I'm not a big Harry Potter fan myself. So.
I grew up on it, so I do like it quite a bit, but I don't like rides that rely on screens a lot, and that is pretty much all Universal is.
Yeah, that would make sense.
So personally, I don't like it as much.
So I used to live in Los Angeles, in Hollywood area. Well, not in Hollywood, but I used to live in the LA area, and so for locals, it was actually relatively cheap to get Universal Studios season passes.
Yeah.
So for me, like, that was what I knew. I went to Disneyland every now and then. I had a friend that worked there, so luckily I could get in without having to pay for it too much. Yeah. At least not the entrance fee, just pay for whatever's in the park.
Right.
So that was always fun. But for me, like, I was actually able to, have the Universal Studios season pass for residents.
Okay, yeah.
And so I actually had a lot of... I actually had a lot of experience in sort of Hollywood's Universal Studios, and that was the same thing there. It was very much big screens, they did have a tram ride that was very cool with like a Fast and Furious section and a few other things.
Yep.
Well, they had a really cool they had a lot of really cool stage stuff as well. They did one back when for like Backdraft where you actually walked through like a sound stage.
That's cool.
And they did different pyrotechnic effects and showed you how they worked, which is super interesting.
That is super interesting.
They had another one that was horror themed,
And I remember all that growing up, and the Orlando one does not have that stuff anymore.
Oh, really?
At least to the same extent. Yeah, no. They were kind of in a transitional period, which is why I think I didn't enjoy it as much. Because, yes, I
Transformers, that was the big thing.
Yeah, and that was still a big thing here, but it relied heavily on
the screens and stuff like that. I do remember being pretty blown away when we were doing the Transformers ride, and there was like a missile that got shot out, and I could feel the heat of the explosion on my face. Like, in the thing. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so interesting. It's been a few years since I've experienced all that, but like when it first came out, I was just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, for me, it just screens like something about screens even mixing in like effects and stuff nowadays. I'm like, I'm not super interested in it.
Yeah.
However, roller coasters though beats Disney out of the park. It's not even close. But that's just because Disney doesn't really have roller coasters, to be perfectly honest. Like, at least not in the same vein.
Again, I wouldn't know anything about Orlando, but
everything's good.
Everything's good in the hood. Ooh, a pumpkin. Spooky season.
Spooky season. It's perfect. Yeah, they have this one roller coaster at Universal in Orlando, and it's like Rip Ride Rocket or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but anyways, it is... You get to pick like the music that you're gonna listen to on the roller coaster and stuff. It is really phenomenal. It is very intense, and I enjoyed it a lot. How the hell am I gonna get...
no. Okay, well, it seems like they're still grasping.
Okay. I don't know how that works.
We glitched it into submission.
Yep. Anyways, I enjoyed that a lot. I thought that was super cool. Please, Pikmin. Cooperate for like 5 minutes.
Just give me a couple seconds here.
Like, there is so much shit that wants to kill you right now, you guys don't even know.
Yeah, okay. You gotta get rid of the poison.
Yeah, there's a lot left to like take care of here, guys.
What the heck is that teddy bear abomination?
I have no idea. Let's try not to glitch that out, and let's try not to drown everybody here with this freaking spider. Anyways, yeah, roller coaster's super cool. The Mummy Ride, that's super cool because that's also in Orlando. I know that's also in Hollywood because I've been to both.
Yes. The Mummy Ride was fun. Really cool. That's definitely a roller coaster-esque one from Universal Studios.
I like the part where it's like the fake out where like you can clearly tell it's not the end of the ride, but it's like thank you for riding or whatever. And he's like and
then it goes backwards.
And I was like, that's fun, like whatever. Like that was cool.
Which I think overall I'm gonna prefer Disney's Indiana Jones ride to Disney's Indiana Jones ride to the Mummy ride in Orlando or in Hollywood Universal Studios.
Yeah.
But I will say that fake out was a lot better than the boulder.
Oh, really?
From the Indiana Jones. Yeah, because I don't know. The Indiana Jones ride, it's like there's a boulder coming, and you go backwards, and then you kind of just go down, and the ride just ends right away.
It does end really abruptly.
And and you go like, oh my goodness, this is like it's like that height, and then they don't have a way of like.
There's no
giving you that like, oh my gosh, and then you're right. It's like literally just boom, you're at the gate, and you're just like still like on fire. You're like, what?
That's it.
What?
Yeah.
I
see what you're saying.
And that's my only gripe. And so I know the Indiana Jones ride is super awesome as a whole, but I will say the Mummy ride going full backwards and everything like that, it just gives you that closure.
As of right now, I believe that is the only Indiana Jones ride Disney has because they temporarily got the rights for that, and that was it. Kind of like that Marvel Zone over at Islands of Adventure. It's just like they had the rights to it, but they did ultimately get the rights at Universal Hollywood to do an Indiana Jones stunt show. And now I think they own the IP outright, so it is what it. The mouse owns all, but at the same time, it's just interesting that is the only Disneyland is the only place that has that ride.
Yeah,
it's very unique to that place.
That would make sense. I mean, it's very interesting. Steven Spielberg.
I like the ride vehicles a lot. I think those are super cool vehicles, especially for their time when they were created.
Which one?
The ride vehicles in the Indiana Jones ride, because they jostle side to side, they do very unique things. I think that's very cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, total tangent here, but
I know. Like, I don't know how we kind of got on this, but
because I mentioned because we were talking about Marvel versus DC was your
and then we talked about like all these IPs and who owns them and everything like that.
And then because I mentioned that there was how they have that really weird land that feels kind of lost in time.
Yeah.
Which is super cool.
And it would be interesting to see Universal Orlando because, again, knowing full well like what Hollywood had to offer, like there was physical rides, which was The Mummy, Jurassic Park, and then there was a full tram tour, and I want to say a couple others, but I'm not.
You know what sucked?
Entirely sure at the moment.
We were like making our way to Jurassic Park Land or whatever the hell it's called, and right when a storm was coming in, so they shut down everything well before closing was supposed to happen. It was like 2 hours before the park was supposed to close. There was no rain, there was no nothing, but for whatever reason they were like, nope, that's enough, like it's close enough, we're closing it. And I was like, well, that sucks. So we didn't get to ride any of that. I rode it as a kid, but I haven't ridden it as an adult. So
that's unfortunate. Yeah, that does happen. I remember we had high winds. We went to.
There's just lightning because it's Florida. Like.
Yeah, in college we went to Six Flags.
Oh yeah, Magic Mountain.
Magic Mountain.
Yeah, that's a good one.
We went on like a weekday when we could kind of get away. Like we were like, oh, we have no classes or anything like that.
Yeah.
Well, so we went to Magic Mountain. And we had like almost no rides. I mean, I rode like all these roller coasters like multiple times over. But it was a stormy day with high winds, so there was a couple. I think it was X2 that they like were like, it's close.
Close enough that we can't do it.
Yeah.
Well, I grew up around the Sacramento area for a long time, so very well north of you, right? But we had Six Flags at the time, Marine World, and then it turned into Discovery Kingdom because they kind of realized it was a dick move to have a bunch of animals around with roller coasters. So, anyways, turned into Marine World, or turned into Discovery Kingdom and stuff like that. But that was probably the closest and most convenient theme park I had growing up, was that particular Six Flags, which, seeing the state that Six Flags is in today because of me growing up with it, it's kind of sad.
I can see that, yeah. I mean, for me, technically the closest one was Legoland.
Oh, I've been there too.
But
theme parks have kind of been my thing all growing up, so I've been to a lot of them. Just because my family was really into it, not so much like, not even like myself, where I'm like, oh, I love theme.
It's a thing to do. It's a day.
Yeah,
get your kids out there, whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
We were actually more of zoo and aquarium people.
Okay. That was what I did with my grandparents. Usually was like zoo and aquariums, and I grew up to really like those a lot. But my family was like, oh, I want to go to the theme park. I want to go get the thrills. Yeah. The thrills that kills.
Yeah, it was more my teenage years that I was theme park related.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Take a girl to one of those rides that like whirls you around and throws her into you. Forget about it.
Oh, yeah.
That was the play, you know? So, well, that is all the time we have for this episode. I'm bringing this last treasure over to the ship, and then we're going to delve deeper. So,
we're going to the next floor.
But yeah, if you enjoyed that, a lot of conversation in this episode, a lot of convo. But I enjoyed it.
What is that?
What is that? Extreme Perspirator.
Good for it.
So it sweats a lot?
Yeah, right? Like, is it... I don't think we have whatever that is in America.
We don't.
There's got to be something that everybody's like, oh, yeah, no, this is like a water bottle.
There has to be an explanation. Anyways, that's it. That's all the time for this episode. If you like that, please give it a like. Subscribe to follow us on this journey and see more of what we upload. And we'll catch you in the next one. Thank you so much.
Bye.